Welcome to Mission-Driven Founders, where passion meets purpose. If you're dreaming of starting your own business, whether it's in beauty, wellness, or beyond, you're in the right place. We are going behind the scenes with inspiring entrepreneurs who are not just building brands, but driving real change. So hit subscribe, tap the bell for updates, and stick around. This conversation could be the spark that ignites your journey. Today, we're excited to introduce Francesca Giobbi, entrepreneur, social innovation strategist, and founder of the Freedom E Colabocracy movement. Her journey spans from Milan's fashion world to global impact initiatives, where she transformed decades of experience into a vision of connecting people, businesses, and communities through collaborative, purpose driven models. Through Freedom E Colabocracy, Francesca champions new ways of working built on collaboration, collective intelligence, and meaningful impact. Her mission is to empower professionals, creatives, and entrepreneurs to reinvent their paths while contributing to healthier economic, social, and environmental ecosystems. Get ready for an inspiring conversation about the future of work, creativity and action, and the power of community driven change. Let's dive into Francesca's journey and the movement she's helping shape. Francesca, thank you so much for joining us today.
It is an honor to be here, darling. And I'm laughing because no one knows how to say collaboracy. So, collaboracy, it's all about collaboration in labor, actions on sales, being paid by meritocratic actions. It's super easy, darling. After interviewing more than 10,000 entrepreneurs in 65 countries, I listed their challenges to go to compete in the digital market where we all are right now. If you have an email, you're competing in the digital market. Or if you have a bank account and pay something online, you're competing in the digital market. So I list, the challenges of those 10,000 entrepreneurs earning from 100K dollars a year up to $2 billion a year, and they all face the same problem. They don't trust, too much misinformation, and they need to maximize their client acquisition cost. And by saying that, collaboracy is this. So here we developed the Freedom E wallet. So your positive social, commercial, environmental, and financial impact through algorithms that connect people that have the same synergies, through collaborative actions that start with co-networking, so collaborative networking, collaborative communication, collaborative sales, collaborative consumption, collaborative investment, collaborative financing, collaborative integrating APIs, collaborative education, and collaborative coding. Why? If we merge the physical and the digital realm all together and maximize any entrepreneur client acquisition cost, where they earn from different revenue streams while they're just communicating together, it's easier, it's simpler, and all of our suppliers become our potential distributors. And we became potential distributors for our clients and suppliers. So it's super simple. I did not invent anything. I just put 1 + 1 is equal to from interviewing 10,000 entrepreneurs in 65 countries.
So, colabocracy. I said it right.
Collaboracy,
Colabocracy.
collaboration on labor with meritocracy.
I love that. So, let's go back to the beginning. Your
Okay.
brand's journey is really, truly inspiring. I love what you're doing, this whole movement. But can you take us back all the way to the beginning? When did that idea spark for you for Freedom E? And how did you bring that vision into life from the beginning?
Okay, so from the beginning, I believe that this vision had different breakthroughs in my life. First of all, it started when I was studying architecture in Milano. So imagine our first year in our college was all about um, studying about the history of art, you know, how creativity started and so far, and how to start drawing, understanding the colors, understanding the shapes, and understanding the ornaments. But then our professor took us to take measurement of those terrible houses in the middle of nowhere in Milano. And I said, how can this connect with this? And then he said, first you dream and then you go back to reality. So dream is no time, no space, no limits, and reality are into a very, how to say, non-sexy cubic model with gray colors. Oh my God, you just cut your vein. Realized that I wasn't cut it to be an architect. I said, you know what? I think I have to do something more. And then I met the right person at the right time in Milano, that he was responsible for Versace at the time. And Versace was the best, Italian haute couture brand at the moment. So I started working with Versace, and then my life changed completely. I finished the study in Milano. I had to, and I finished with very high grades, but I just did it because I started. And my daughter always say to me, Francesca, Mama, you're so deep. You only like deep conversations. Yes, I like deep conversations. Cut the shit out. How are you? It's 2 minutes, and then talking about the weather really annoys me. I want deep conversation. So by being a deep person, I start to study a lot about fashion and how to be the best seller that I could be for the made in Italy added value. For 11 years, I did it so. And then I understood that the made in Italy was made 80% in China. And then I decided to go back to Brazil, since I'm half Brazilian, half Italian, and start a new beginning and start to develop the real made in Brazil. So I opened a factory there. I started producing shoes and distribute shoes in 65 countries. But
Wow.
then I was putting money in every box I was exporting. Why? Because the cost of Brazil was extremely high comparing with the fake made in Italy produced in China. And the cost of the money in Brazil is extremely high comparing with the opportunities of Italian producing abroad and finalizing in Italy. By saying that, when entrepreneurs do not understand the cost of the money and do not understand the rules of making money in an international field, it's better for him to or her to become a housekeeper, not to go to the market. So, and I say this to everybody. I believe that especially SMEs, even though they're not exporting, but they are competing with people that are exporting to their countries, they have no idea the real rules of the market. They think that only going to a marketing or business school will make them succeed. This is such a lie, you know. They have no idea. Anyway, so
The
and then
real
I
world is very different. The business world off the books is a completely different story than on the books, right?
of
When you go
course,
the theory is beautiful. You have all these plans and you can make a gazillion business plans, but it never goes the way it's planned on paper. Never.
yes, never, never. And not only this, uh, people that have no idea how the market works. And if you think that you are going to the market only in US because your company is American, or only in Finland, because it's a lie, because you're competing in a digital world, physical and digital, where everybody is connected, where everybody understands what is real going on. And the competition, it's huge. Anyway, so by saying that, I did a very nice company in Brazil. I move a lot of money, but I never earn money. And 99% of the entrepreneurs around the globe, they move money. They do not earn money. Some move with less interest, and some move with more interest. But the problem is not the money. The problem is the lack of an intelligent distribution solution for those entrepreneurs. So if you think about the big companies, the 500 biggest companies around the globe, they have a huge distribution. Why? Because a lot of our companies are partners to all of those companies, of those group companies, and they use all the knowledge and the distribution and the power of negotiation of the market and the money all together. And then you see the SMEs fighting with each other and thinking that they have the secret that they not, because at the end we never invent anything, we just reinvent, because the system is one, the needs are one. We need to eat, we need to dress, we need to entertain, we need to connect. So at the end, the needs are the same, so you cannot invent, much more than the things that you don't need anyway. So so then, by understanding that, I closed my factory by, putting money to export, and then I start working for as a supplier, as a development person between India and China for some Brazilians and Italian companies. And then I understood that I was investing in slave labor without knowing. And then I said, enough. I just can't move forward with this. I just can't use my talent to work in a system that is against my values. So I had a huge depression, a huge depression. And thanks God, I had a very good nonna, grandma in Brazil, Italian nonna in Brazil.
Oh,
Yeah, and I had a very nice conversation with her. And then I said, I'm so tired, of investing my talent in things that I don't believe anymore, just because I have to pay my kids' intuition, or I have to pay bills, or I have to rebuild my life. And then I had the opportunity of heritaging some of her money, and I used that money to understand people's mentality around the globe. And this is where I start my research on understanding the quality of life of entrepreneurs in different countries. Start from fashion, and then went to beauty, and then went to influencers' lives, and then went to health when pandemic came. And then I really saw myself in the wellness, which is preventive care, where people really stop and think what really matters in their life, in the professional, social, personal, and social consumption and vision. So this is where I am right now.
I love that. I love that because you finally let your heart speak and not your bills and your tuition, school tuition for the kids. You said, I'm going to do what's in my heart and what I feel is my contribution to the world. So I love that you got to that conclusion and your nonna helped you. And I had an Italian nonna too, and they're amazing. I know I miss them so much.
Yes,
Um,
true.
so okay, so that's how you started Freedom Me. And today, who is your ideal participant or client for Freedom Me? How do you envision your ecosystem making a difference in their lives? And how do you build personal, human centered connections within your community?
Yeah. So first of all, the clients better, the partners that I'm looking for, because Freedom unites investors, financiers, tech people, communication, and education all together in the physical and the digital realm. So the partners that I'm looking right now are the people that are change makers, people that understood that their professional consumption, social consumption, personal consumption, and financial consumption is the best vote to construct a healthier, wealthier, and happier entrepreneur environment at a global scale for all of us, since all of us has an email or a bank account. So I want change makers. So people in beauty that are looking for the best ingredients for all the ecosystem, all the circular economy, not only for the client, no, for everybody. Financial suppliers that are looking the best way to create the best line of credits and the best opportunities to help entrepreneurs and investors to invest, earn money, and connect. You know, we had developed inside of Freedom E, which is this, the algorithms of connections. So those algorithms of connections, uh, I developed during 11 years of doing those interviews and understanding the challenges of those entrepreneurs to go in the digital world with a quality of life and earning money, but in the same time with their vision, the right questions. Because when you start doing interviews with people, you think you have the right questions, but when you start listen to the answers, you understand that you have no idea what you're talking about, because more deeply you go, more you don't know. See?
It's so true. It's so true. They give you the questions. They elaborate them for you because they bring so much knowledge and experience that you didn't even dream about asking, right?
Yes, because we have, I believe that we're all pieces of a big puzzle. So I don't know better than you, and you don't know better than me. We just know different because we have different perspectives. That's it. But if we unite our perspective, like the 500 big corporates around the globe, we can make a huge change for our lives in all senses. So I want people to work with quality of life, doing what they know what to do best, but not for the money. The money is a consequence of a balanced life. See?
It's so true because what do you do with the money if you don't have the health, and what you do with your health if you don't have the money? So it's finding the right balance, and it's the right lifestyle for everyone. And you're so right about us being interconnected. We all are. So everything that we do, every step we take, every choice we make, it affects our whole community, the planet. It's not just us. Sometimes we think we're doing something just for us or for our family. We're doing things globally without even realizing, because we're all in this together. We're in this planet together,
That's
right?
for sure. That's for sure. That's for
So
sure.
sustainability and ethical sourcing are at the core of your philosophy, right? Could you share what happens behind the scenes to ensure every decision aligns with your values? Have you faced any unique challenges in staying committed to this mission?
Yes. So first of all, I don't believe there is a right way to be sustainable. I believe that sustainability sustain your own ideas. So in order to sustain something, you have to be connected with communities that have the same ideas, the same goals that you have. So people say, I want to be sustainable, but to sustain what? The 500 companies that rule the world, or to sustain your goals? So if you want to sustain your goals, how are you going to do it? So this is where we develop this five integrated algorithm to understand that. Because, for instance, in finance, I could be weaker with my goals, but in commerce, I'm super strong with my goals. So I need to connect with people that think the way I think, and I need to connect that people that make my weakness become stronger because we connect to each other. So this is all about. And then what I did in Freedom Me was super easy. We need to cross the physical with the digital world. So the digital, you have all the algorithms, all the structure to connect and multiply with the 17 revenue streams. But in the physical world, we have 5 different products that for me are super important. So first, we are developing our Better Verse studio agency to help marketing agencies to change for marketing to co-sales, because I don't believe in marketing anymore, especially with the digital. We co-sell, we sell together. Here we are doing this video. I can be buying your lipstick, I can be buying the sculpture behind you, you can be buying my glasses, we can be talking about my nail polish or the lady that did my nails. So there's so many things that are connected in this digital realm that are communicated by words, by videos, by music, by so many things around us, by all the 14 sectors of wellness that comes from beauty, fashion, real estate, finance, health technology, and much more. That since we're so interconnected, we can use all this to communicate. So first we're doing those documentaries to teach how the ecosystems are made and how we can connect our circular economy together. We can connect our suppliers with us and connect my suppliers with your suppliers, and then make a huge opportunity on consumption and production with positive impacts. Then we have behind the scene. So making the right question, why you chose this supplier, why you working with this. So understand the mindset of the entrepreneur, because this is where you start seeing the how the way they answer the questions at Freedom E algorithms to connect, and how they really act. And then from that we have the podcast behind the systems. So we need to understand that we have the commercial system, the financial system, the mental system, the intellectual system. There are 12 systems that open doors of opportunities in mankind every day. So the mental health, the emotional health, the conjugal health, the family health, the intellectual health, the digital health, and much more. So we're all interconnected on this. And then we have the seals. So what I love about what you're doing, Wanda, that you are creating methodology to help people to become better in their business. So what about uniting Vandas around the globe? They're doing this and saying, this is the way that I'm helping them. This is the way that I have, and create seals that really make change in people's life. It's like, for me, seals is like exercising the gym. You have the exercise for the arm, you have the exercise for the gluten, you have the exercise for the legs. And we have to do those exercises to be better, to be better, to be better every day. Why not doing those seals on our commerce health? It's
Right.
super important,
And to be
because sometimes.
right? Like you want each brand, each founder to be accountable for what he is producing, promising, putting out there in the world. And it's important because sometimes when you're in the business, you forget to be accountable for everything that you're doing, and you have to have, a seal of approval, a certification saying, hey, you promised this, but you're not delivering this, so let's work on this.
And then by networking, you can do this. So this is why Colabocracy, it's positive. See, I remember when I had my shoe factory, I wanted to do all the styles instead of doing only pumps and then selling other people's sandals because I'm good to sell. Why I have to produce pumps and sandals in all different kinds of heels. See, so those are the things we are so into competition, competition, competition that we do not understand all the talents that we have, that those talents can be connected to third party talents, and then to other third party talents, and make it happen so much easier, because our mindset is wrong. So we have to change our mindset. This is why education is extremely important. How
So
to collaboratize instead of compete.
exactly, exactly. And we are going to get to the certification a little later in this interview, and we're going to dive deeper into that because I know you like diving deep into things.
That's
So
for sure. That's for sure. And I think you are the right person to go, and create those methodologies and unite different sales methodology with the good heart. I think we are in the moment where good people are going left and right people are going right. Or if you are seeing from my side, the opposite, because we have different perspectives. See? But
right.
now I believe it's the division of good people and bad people, because we don't have time for bullshit anymore. Sorry.
We don't have time for
Yeah.
this. We have, life is short. We're here for a very short period of time. We either have, we leave a legacy or we don't leave anything. And it's better to leave a legacy, to leave something behind, because you're always going to have, you're going to be remembered by something. You want to be remembered by good or by bad things, right?
Yes, and then we're doing good for our children, for our grandchildren, for the past generation. And this is what is good. And even if no one remembers me, at least on my last breath, I will say, I did something. I'm not that empty. And I don't believe that the lives finish here. This life with this body finish here, but I'm sure that I will move forward.
I agree. I agree. I believe in karma. A lot of people don't, but I do. And I believe in afterlife, but that's another discussion.
Yes.
Yeah. So, building a movement comes with highs and lows, and you are building a beautiful movement with Freedom E and the Colabocracy and our Betterverse, everything, all the arms of this project are beautiful. Can you tell us about a particularly challenging moment, how you navigated it, and the key lesson it taught you as a founder and a leader, creating the Freedom Me and all this? Just one challenge that you.
Yes, I think that the biggest challenge is to show for coders that entrepreneurs' life experience cost much more, and they're much more worth it than a code. Because a code is just learning how to write online. But the experience that entrepreneurs have are much, much more worth it and significated that writing. So I think this is the biggest challenge. I invested 3 times a lot of money in coders for them to put Freedom Me on the digital realm. But since they look at me and say, you're just an entrepreneur, not a coder, and I know what I'm talking about, and they didn't, I lost time and I lost money. So I think that the biggest challenge right now is to make this boom of the digital realm for them to fly down again and connect with reality, because there's a lot of coders that produce a lot of apps that they have no use at all. They lose a lot of time because they do not understand what the real market is all about. So I believe that the biggest challenge that we all have right now is coders go to the same level of knowledge and interested of the real world. And this is what we this is the biggest challenge of the digital realm. And this is where I am now. And this is where the best lessons that I learned in the last 11 years. So my challenge now is to find the right match of the coders to develop Freedom Me the way I wanted. And I have to say, I designed all the app because after flunking 3 times, paying the bills, I understood exactly what I need.
So this is a great opportunity for developers out there to contact you if they are really good at coding and if they have a big heart and if they really want to embrace this movement, this project that is going to really make a huge impact in the world. And I think this is a great opportunity. So if developers are here and you can code, you can work with Francesca. She is amazing, and that would be great to have, good developers working with you to create this app and just help millions, billions of people all over the world.
Yeah,
And
developers that want to understand what the real business is, because AI and other intelligence in technology are coming, and code will not be needed. What will be needed is creativity and real knowledge. And this is what we have to do. We have to unite real knowledge. Just need coders that want to use the real knowledge to make a difference and earn money. Because if you don't earn money, it's not a business, right?
Right, right. Part of being sustainable is being financially sustainable, because if you
That's for
can't
sure.
be profitable, you can't be sustainable. You can't do all the other stuff that will help the planet, the people. There's no purpose in a non-sustainable, non-profitable business.
That's for sure.
So let's talk about what we call the giving back chain, where brands and consumers unite to support the planet and their communities. Freedom E is part of the giving back chain, because what you're doing is really connecting everyone and giving, each one is giving back, and the giving back chain is an expression we use at Crunchy Mama Box, but I think Freedom E fits perfectly into this term, the giving back chain. But are there any partnerships or causes that you're especially proud to champion that are connected to Freedom E? Any nonprofits, any organizations that you support or that
Yes.
are supporting Freedom E?
Yes. So what I'm doing right now, I'm starting this partnership for the beginning. Smart consumption and conscious consumption. So I believe that this partnership start with consumption, not with production. We have a lot of money to produce so many things around the globe, and this productivity, those production, they're not connecting with the need of the consumption. And this is why we have a lot of waste. There's a lot of goods that goes to the bin before even leaving the factory. And it happens also to the stores, and it happens also to our wardrobe. So it's a lot of, you know,
Waste.
waste of money, time, products, raw materials, transportation, and so forth. So I say that the education about conscious consumption. So I consuming this because it's good for my back, it's good for my liver, it's good for my bank account, it's good for my son, whatever it is, it's good for me. And then I am buying this because it's a smart consumption, because this company is helping women in needs, are helping to pay tuition for children in Uganda. It's see, so always understand what kind of projects this company is involved with, and understand the mind of the owner of the company or the mind of the investors of the company. So, and what they are connected with. So I think that this is the most important than making partnership with the producer. I want to make partnership with the consumers, and every producer is a consumer. So I produce shoes. I do not produce cups. I do not produce glasses. I do not produce bricks. I do not produce technology. I do not produce money. I do not see. There's so many things that I don't produce. I produce shoes. And even by producing shoes, I don't produce leather, I don't produce heels, I have to buy them. So I have to understand the mind of my suppliers, and I have to understand the mind of my partners. So how do I do this? By smart consumption and conscious consumption. Conscious consumption, for me, smart consumption, giving back to the society. So understand how my suppliers are involved with the society, and if their projects has something to do with my goals. And this is, we go back to the 5 algorithms of Freedom E that connect us all.
That's fantastic, Francesca. Fantastic. I am in love with your movement, with everything that you're doing. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now I want to ask you about our certification. So, how do you think the CMB certification today, centered on transparency, education, sustainability, and social impact, is aligning with your mission at Freedom E?
Well, I think, as I said to you, is the fifth product of the physical world. So I love the way you think about sustainability. So thinking about the quality of the product, the quality of the people that are working with the product, and the quality of the people that are going to use the product. So thinking the quality in different ways. So this is why I think that your way of thinking of developing a transfer and a pure certification, it's what we need right now. And I really believe that good people can develop good certification, not only big companies. And everything starts small.
Yes.
So everything start around you, start around the people that are connected with the brand, with the company that you are certificating. So this is why I think what you're doing is extremely important. And I don't see you only in the beauty part. I see you all in the sectors of wellness, because we're all connected. If you knew how much waste the real estate make, you're going to be shocked. If you knew how much waste the financial world makes, you're going to be shocked. So
Yeah.
the lack of sustainability out of lack of knowledge how system works. This is why I see you a lot in the certification integration together with the communication of the behind the system, because people have no idea. You come from 20 years of a beauty products production, so you know exactly the ecosystem at a global scale. Like
Yes.
me, I know how to make shoes in 65 countries, how distribute shoes in 50. So when you understand this, your mindset, it's a different mindset. You know how many consumers have no idea where a chicken come from, where a cup come from, how a lipstick is made.
Yes.
No idea. Not even how a television program is made. No idea. They think it's like, you just click on the phone and Shaza. See?
It's so true. And it's incredible because we are so aligned on the education piece. We need to educate the brands, we need to educate the consumers. It's really an educational ecosystem that with because education is power. Once you know where something comes from, you know how to be more like rigorous with your criteria, or else you don't have criteria if you just think it's the click of a button or a Shazam, like you said.
Yes.
It's like, you have to know we're not kids, we're adults. We have to be responsible for what we consume, what we put on and inside our bodies, and what we throw out, in our garbages, because we are also polluting with whatever we're consuming and throwing out. Our waste is also causing a lot of pollution in the world. So we need to be conscious, and that's what you said, conscious consumption. If you're not consuming, you're not making informed choices about what you're buying and what you're bringing to your home and putting it out there in the world, throwing it out, there's a problem right there. There's a disconnect that needs to be fixed.
Yes, and I think it's not only to your home. This is why I say professional consumption, social consumption, personal consumption, and financial consumption. See, this
Right.
is so important. Everything you consume for you, for your company, for your entertainment, for your family, and to manage your money.
Exactly. Exactly. Spot on. I loved it. Is there anything else you want to share about Freedom E Colabocracy? Because now I can say it really fast because I learned it. Anything else you want to share with our community?
What I want to share is, Wanda, you are how to say an inspiration for me.
I can say
And
this about me.
even if you don't know, you are already a Colabocratic girl by educating the companies that you're working with to do better choices. So for me, it's more than freedom. It's an economy. It's a lifestyle,
Yes,
and it's a pure lifestyle. Just understand your choices and use your choices to make a healthier, a wealthier, and a happier environment for you and for those who are connected with. So the only thing that I want more of Vandas. to inspire and to multiply. I'm here to serve. So that's it.
Thank you so much. You know, Francesca, I think we need more Francescas. We need more Elionas. We need more, Sovies, all the group that is involved with Freedom E and our Better Verse. You have united incredible people. And I am very honored to be part of this. And with all your kind words, I am really honored, and I think you're doing an amazing thing for the world, and you're a visionary, you're an entrepreneur, you have, like, you know this market like no one else. All the interviews you've done, you have so much experience, you have, like, what you bring to businesses, to the world, is invaluable. It's priceless. There's no, like, you cannot put a price on this, and I think you're going to transform the world with Freedom E. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for sharing your.
Together we'll do it, darling.
We
We're
will.
much better uniting different pieces of the puzzle. Thank you so much for your time. Keep
Oh,
shining. It's an honor to go to Freedom Me path together with you.
thank you so much. And thank you for sharing your inspiring journey and for all that you do to create a more sustainable and conscious world, because you've shown us how businesses can truly be a force for good. And to everyone watching, remember that every choice we make can shape the future. So let's choose wisely, live intentionally, and support those who are making a difference. So stay inspired, stay motivated, and let's keep building a brighter future together.